Good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:57 p.m. on this very humid day, Friday, the 31st of August, last trading day of the week for, well, I guess not for cryptos, but it's the last trading day of the week for Forex, futures, equities, last trading day of the month. And it is the, well, it's the end of the month. Lots of activity in a lot of markets. So yesterday when we were talking, we had a interesting, we were talking about some zones we wanted to look at. And more importantly, we were looking right at this area in here. We were looking right in here. When we started talking, we saw this candlestick play out here where it was dropping down and kind of just kept looking at it while we were sitting here and wanted to see which direction it would go. And then when we logged off, or when I logged off, still watching it. And then what happened at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we had a huge bounce. That is the exact thing I was looking for. That is the exact kind of volume behavior and price behavior that we want to see if we want to have a bullish outlook moving forward, because usually these levels crack under pressure. I mean, whenever an area of support has been tested on any major kind of correction ever since December 17th, we have always seen the support fail and price fall through it. That did not happen yesterday. We were sitting right on that linear regression line, the midline, and then we popped back up, traded up in there overnight, and then this morning, from 8 p.m. until till present, we have been trading up. There's a lot of buy volume that come in there. So what we really want to see now is a break above this regression channel, just a move higher. So this is a very nice move. It's still not a higher high. And some might say that we are still forming a slanted head and shoulders, but otherwise, this is a very, very nice move, and that is exactly the kind of thing we want to see play out. How's it affected other cryptos? Well, Ethereum Classic has had a nice little bump there. Ethereum itself has had a nice little drive. Ethereum actually has been holding inside this angle here pretty nicely and on pretty strong support, because this teal line here, this is the 882 fib level from the all-time high to the last fall breakout zone. So the original swing low breakout from last year to the all-time high of Ethereum, that's what this area is. That's the 882 Fibonacci level. That is a very strong resistance level. And we've been sitting on it for quite a while, ever since, half the month. A little over half the month. 17 days we've been trading, just under that 300 level. This is very indicative of accumulation. This is very indicative of accumulation consolidation. This is evidence of a bottom forming in Ethereum. Ethereum's got like some horrible news comes out all the time about it. I mean, it's so ugly that I don't even want to touch it. I used to have quite a bit of it, but from a trading point, I think it has a long way to rally compared to Bitcoin and some others. So Ethereum's probably a good one I'm going to be looking at here, just for a pure speculation play. I don't really hold it. Litecoin, doing very nicely, bounced above that 60 level. I mean, what we're really looking at here is we have a bull flag. All right, we have a bull flag that was formed on Bitcoin and on Litecoin, Ethereum, and then everything else. We've just had a bull flag pattern form up on those. So that is the. Is the volume coming in okay, by the way? And also today is the last day of the free room, last free live session for Decrypto markets. It'll be a paid service, and you can look in the the comment section or the description, just down here. There it is. It's $20 a month, $19.99 a month. That's pretty affordable. Yeah, looking forward to it. So, anyways, I'm gonna keep going. So we had the price action that we wanted to see. That happened a couple hours after, well, an hour after we got done talking. That is exactly what we had happen. We wanted to, at 3 o'clock, we saw that nice, beautiful bounce. And I don't know, there's just, there was something when I was looking at it yesterday afternoon. I was halfway hoping that would happen, but expecting the breakout down further, and that did not play out. So this is a pretty nice move we've got. We'll see how it plays out from here, because it has faced resistance right up against the top of this linear regression channel. So we'll just be aware of that, cognizant of that. As the title for today's session is called Ichimoku the hell out of that bounce. That's what we're going to do. And you know what? We'll do it over here because, oops. And we'll just hide everything else. Okay, so on the Ichimoku system, on the 1 hour chart, we are very near a breakout level on the 1 hour. So, can't find any link to order your signals. Well, the signals will come across on our Telegram, which, by the way, hold on a minute. I mean, I'm going to put them in here in chat for now, but that will change in the future here. All right. So looking for that 1 hour breakout. This is kind of a funky area. We've got kind of this knob here. It looks like the top of Minnesota. And it looks, you know, we can wait an hour for it to move out. Otherwise, on the hourly, this is probably looking like a fine entry zone. It's looking like a breakout on the hourly. If we look at it on the 4 hour, 4 hours actually really nice. So if you remember yesterday, we were discussing the 4 hour breakout zone was, you know, if we were to come back and retest the baseline, that would be the ideal, or break back above the base in the conversion. That is exactly what's happened. And price has been testing both the conversion and the baseline on the 1 hour and been holding that as support. So, you know, we're just forming a nice bullish breakout of a flag pattern. So that's a very, it's gonna be pretty neat. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out over the Labor Day weekend. Let's look at some altcoins. So Cardano, the Bitcoin pair of Cardano, you can look at a couple of ways: the dollar or the Bitcoin pair. You know, I don't think it matters so much because it's just different. But Cardano at the present value area, I like it. On the 4 hour chart, it's got a breakout there. It's holding. I like the breakout of Cardano on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, we're not quite there yet, but the 4 hour is more important. So I like the breakout on the 4 hour, and that's at 1459. Oh, we're at, that's just right at what it is right now. Walton chain looking a little top heavy. You know, if we do get a broader market rally, I don't know how much more upside we'll see in Walton Chain. I would really like to see a deeper pullback. If we check it out on the daily, yeah, look at the volume here on the daily. That is nuts. That's all right. You see a candlestick like this at the top of a range or the top of a trend, and you see the volume. A candlestick like this with the volume, and it's higher than the last however many days this is, the last 15 days. This is something to short or to get out of. This is a danger zone. It's faced resistance up against the top of the hourly cloud. The volume here is clearly powerful with the selling pressure. So this is a swing top. Definitely looking like a swing top. Nano's the only, might actually have a breakout signal on the daily, which is maybe. It's a maybe. On the 4-hour, Nano is going to have a breakout pretty soon. So we've got price right below the cloud. Now we really need to see price get above the cloud and then the lagging span to get above price. So the long on Nano is actually going to be a nice breakout, which will probably accelerate it past that 5,000 handle. And that is really, I'm going to have a buy stop probably at, I got hit for a buy yesterday, and probably, I don't want to do that right at 5 because I'll probably get some choppiness there, maybe at 5,200. Yeah. Oops. Help if I put in what it was I was doing. Basic attention token. 4-hour is looking all right. Looking kind of flat though. On the 1-hour, this is where I'd probably want to trade it on the. I'd want to trade this on the 1-hour. So basic attention token. We've got that bull flag that it's wanting to try and bust out of. But we're below the cloud. And so that where we're in the cloud tells us we don't take a trade yet. And so I would be looking to get long when the lagging span is above the cloud. So that is really, I'm looking at that 22.97, or we could do 22.84. Whenever excuse me, whenever you see me do something like a 1H Ichi, that means that's based off of the 1-hour Ichimoku. Stellar, Lumen, XLM, same situation, same chart pretty much, waiting for the lagging span to break out above the cloud. What is bullish here on the 1-hour chart is that the lagging span has crossed above the conversion and the base, and it's currently sitting there. We just, this, a flat top or a flat bottom in a cloud that's a deep cloud. Those are areas of strong support and resistance. What do we look like on the 4-hour here? 4 hours kind of a little choppy. Now on the 4-hour, even if lagging span got above price needs to stay above the baseline here. So this might not even be a very not looking. Actually, there's got to be better ones out there. Monero, privacy coin. Holy cow! I'm gonna check my account after this. I just took a big position in Monero yesterday. Well, good Lord, I have not been paying attention to this. I've been crying about my Aussie dollar position. 4-hour clear breakout. Where's the 1-hour? All right, so if we missed it, waiting for a pullback to a couple zones. So there's a couple zones here that we could get a pullback to. The you know what? F it. I need to do instead of going back and forth, I'll just use our cloud chart. Monero. Okay, so on the top left, we have Monero's daily Ichimoku chart. On the top right, we have Monero's 4-hour Ichimoku chart. And then on the bottom, we have Monero's hourly Ichimoku. And the hourly is the kind of the entry. So if I'm looking at the daily, and entry rules based on the daily are a little different. It's, for me, what I found, at least in cryptocurrencies, is that if I know price has crossed above the conversion and the baseline, and the conversion line has crossed above the baseline as well, then I know that I'm okay taking a long trade. Generally, you don't often find this kind of thing happen, and then it just kind of trades back down. It does happen, but it's not very often on the daily chart. This is generally the sign of a longer term trend change. Of course, you probably want to compare that to the weekly chart too. But anyways, looking at the 4-hour, very nice expansive move there. I don't like to buy at market tops, and I would like to wait, even though I might get miss something. But definitely the thing that I want to get in long is either at a return to the conversion line, which is the blue line here. If prices find support on it, I want to go long on it, but otherwise I'll wait for a return to the base. And the baseline we might have to wait a little while to do that, because we haven't gotten into a test of the base. More than likely, if there's strong momentum behind this move, if it is if it is authentic, then it should ride the conversion line on any move down. It should bounce off of the conversion line as we move. So I'm looking for probably a pullback to 111.64. $111.64. Heck, I also got to drop these in Telegram. I got to remember to do that. Okay, XMR, Bitcoin Gold. It's a nice breakout on the hourly there, the 4-hour as well. The daily. Ooh, the daily actually looks pretty well. Yeah. Daily looks kind of nice. On the hourly, it's not a horrible entry either, because we closed at that top there. We'll come back. ZRX, OX. Not a lot of these charts look very different. If you want to, there's evidence of a very heavily correlated market that we're looking at it. If you remember last year, during the big bull run in the fall and winter, the fall and then into early winter. Actually, I don't think we even got into winter. We had the sell-off on the 17th. Winter starts the 22nd of December. Yeah. Anyways, when we got into this phase where Bitcoin was, above 14,000, we saw a definite divergence in prices in the entire market. So we had some coins lagging, and their charts looked way different, which was awesome. It's like we were in a legitimate different asset class trading environment where not everything was following Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin's moves did also affect the moves of everything else, but it wasn't like it is today. Last year was really fun to watch. It was like you got to put your feet into the pool of awesome for a little while, and then somebody peed in the pool, and that's when Bitcoin went down. Anyways, the great thing that we can look forward to is a correlated market, but a lot of differences in the charts. They won't all look the same like they do now. So, hopefully what would be awesome in the Forex market, you've got basically, you've got the dollar, the euro, the pound, Aussie dollar. You've got all of these different currencies that are kind of competing against one another, but everything still kind of follows the dollar's strength or the euro's strength. It would really be nice to see what happens in cryptocurrencies, because it would be awesome to see another cryptocurrency, whether it be Monero or Ethereum, be kind of the inverse pair, where it's not necessarily underperforming when one is outperforming, but when one is kind of taking a break, the other one is doing better. So it'd be really nice to see a market that is at odds like that. OX not seeing, I mean, that chart looks the same. BCPT, BC. Bitcoin, or Block Mason Credit Protocol. All right, this one on the 4-hour chart may have a breakout, but we got halted at the baseline. The 1-hour chart here as well, we're looking look like it wants to have a little bit of a rest on that move up. ZRX on the hourly looks like it might be a good one to take a look at. On the daily, we could be approaching, if we get a cross above the baseline here on the daily, that'd be interesting. 4-hour actually has a nice yeah, if we stay above, wait a minute. Yeah. This is the dollar pair. If I look at this and think, I do it on the, no, still no. Neo, I do not like Neo, but well, Neo might be a trade. That is if we can stay above the cloud and if the lagging span gets above the cloud. Yeah, Neo, be looking at that 2083 zone. That's what it would be. Cool. ZEC. Zcash. Man, look at that daily here. that is ping-ponging around in here quite a bit between the baseline and the conversion line, which both have really flat levels. That's pretty wild. But clearly there's a lot of buying here. A lot of buying going on. 4-hour chart looks like everybody else's. ZEC, it'll have the same breakout level on the hourly as everyone else's. So looking at the 153.52. $153.52. Excellent. OMG. That one looking a little heavy there. Although OMG really has not done a lot, period. Although we've got an inside bar on the daily here, which is right up against the baseline. Would rather see it form a bullish pivot based on this instead of just a break of that high. Nope, not looking at that one. EOS. EOS, I think that's one. I hold EOS, and I'm going to be hanging on to EOS. EOS has got some activity in front of it. Hourly is above all those conditions, so is the 4 hour. So just like the and then we have this really nice cross above. We have a bullish pivot setup happening on the daily. Again, a bullish pivot in candlesticks. In that kind of a setup, we are looking at the middle candlestick has a lower high and a lower low than the two outside, and we want to see the volume higher than the middle as well. Well, about the same volume or higher, preferably higher. We may get that. There's still a lot of time left in the day. EOS getting in right now. I don't like that very much. On the 4 hour or on the 1 hour chart here, we see kind of a double tweezer top. I'd be more interested in getting in on a bounce off of the conversion of the baseline, probably a little lower, like split the difference at 625. That's a good number. Oops, 6.25. Excuse me. If there's a coin you guys want me to look at while we're going over these, just let me know. Bitcoin Cash. Man, not really moving much, is it? Although on the hourly, I mean, it's really... Is it good to enter if EOS breaks 650? So a break of the highs here, yeah, I would say so. Yep, I was actually contemplating in my head when I was writing down the pullback trade that or a break of the high. I could definitely see the price action on all of these pairs that have probably this double top here. Another kind of a bull flag, and then once it comes back down to conversion of the base, then we have a bounce up. OMG. Didn't we just go over that one? I think we did. We'll go over it again. Almost go. So on the daily, I would take a trade on OMG based on the daily chart, not on the hourly or the 4 hour. I would take a trade on the daily chart, and that would be at a return above the baseline. And that's what I would like to see. So at like 444 is where... Well, let's see the Bitcoin pair, because kind of the same situation, but maybe Bitcoin pair have a better... No. Yeah, I'd wait for it on the daily, and might be a little easier to say a break. It's an inside bar right now, just like it is on the dollar equivalent, but depending how you've learned how to trade inside bars, you get a couple of opinions about what high you should do it off of. Actually get more variance on people saying what low. Like, don't even ignore the low of the inside, just use the low of the last. I'm going to say the high of the last here. So my entry would be at 628 for OMG. That's based on the daily. 628. That was BTC, OMG BTC. Break of previous high. That's what that one is. Now, as far as things like profit targets go, and like what's the stop loss? So in the Ichimoku system, the stop where you place your stops is suggested that you put it at a shade below the cloud. So if we're going long, then our stop, we kind of trail it, we move it as we go. It stays just a little bit below the cloud, and that's the stop. The profit target, that's the part that is actually, this is probably one of the easier systems to develop a profit target on. And that actually is just going to have to do a little practice or a little research on your own. So go back in time and measure with the price measuring tool or the time and price measuring tool. Measure the large expansions that it's had away from the baseline, and then try and figure out, how far can it travel before it comes back to test that baseline. So that is the profit target that you can do. You just kind of go based off of the past extensions away from the baseline, and that's a pretty safe way to identify profit target areas. Okay. OMG, let's see. Ripple. But I tell you what, there are a few coins that get pumped as much as Ripple, and Ripple's actually ready for a freaking breakout, if you can believe it. On the 4-hour and the daily, wow, when this does move out, it's going to explode out of here. This is a big setup. Yeah, out of all the ones I've looked at so far today, this is the one that's most promising. The Ripple dollar pairs at 34.27. What did I say? What did I say? Yeah, 34.27. The Bitcoin equivalent of that one is what the hell is that? What the hell happened last hour? Oh, I remember. I thought I saw something about this, but I didn't really read into it much. What the hell is that kind of thing? Jeez. That's a massive. Does this exist on any other exchange, or is that just a Binance only thing? Let's say XRP Bitcoin on Bittrex. What does that look like? No, it's not on Bittrex. That is a Binance only thing, whatever the hell that was. Huh. Yeah, it's hard to gauge the equivalent value here. I mean, what you could do is just monitor, I like to use the US dollar pairs when I can, because I have found that they actually offer the best trading opportunities. Trying to compare them to the Bitcoin ones, those are the most accurate, but the dollar ones actually give you a more real, and a better trading setups. And so what I do, if I can't buy Ripple with dollars, then I'll just set alerts, and when the alert pops, then I know to enter in an order. That's if I can't figure out, what is the relative value going to be. You can use some common sense and just, adjust the order yourself. But if you don't want to do that, you can set an alert where prices get near that target zone on the dollar pair, and then adjust it on the Bitcoin pair. Let's see. Ooh, I wonder how. Okay, Dash actually. Dash is about to have a nice breakout on the hourly. Ooh, and it's beautiful daily pivot on this. The volume is horrible because this is Kraken's data. What am I doing with that? There we go. There we go. Yeah, Dash hourly looks pretty awesome. The daily is beautiful. This is a gorgeous bullish pivot setup here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the just really above this candlestick on the hourly here, on the hourly Ichimoku, looking for a break above the high here. That also brings the lagging span above. So a break of that high, 196.90, I think is a nice entry for Dash. Okay, Dash is a good one. OMG, 0x, Neo, ZC. I don't have up here. Oh, Lisk. Yeah, let's look at Lisk. Wow, Lisk is looking ugly compared to everybody else. It has not had a bump. But yeah, so not a good trade there. Steam. This is a good example of how the lagging span faces rejection at the same areas. It has like a double rejection zone, this flat area here. Steam on the 4 hours, not looking very pretty. Steam on the daily, looking like we might consolidate. There might be a trade here over the weekend. Saya coin. This one catches a lot of volume. 4 hour, no. Daily, no. I mean, the amount of coins sitting in a squeeze here, and this is indicative of a squeeze. Not only when prices get into the clouds and start trading in there, does that mean we're in a squeeze, but when you start to see the conversion and the baseline constricting, but prices trading in between them, that's a squeeze as well. And when this happens, I mean, are we looking at a squeeze prior to a breakdown? Lower? I mean, probably, maybe. This is looking more like a bullish reversal setup, just given the seasonality and everything else. Yeah, it's Scicoin on the daily. Although, I mean, I have Bittrex, but this isn't. Scicoin isn't on Bittrex. Or I mean Binance. It's not on Binance. I try to limit the things just for Binance because that's what people use the most. I think that'll change here in this year, maybe this year going into next year. People start using Bittrex more. And so if you have not created an account on Bittrex, I would really suggest you go do that like today. Don't spend a lot of time waiting, because if you remember last year at all, people had difficulties getting accounts created because they could not keep up with the demand. And Bittrex is going to have fiat trading. They already do, but they're going to have it for every single coin. And when that happens, I mean, Coinbase has major competition. Bittrex or Binance. Bittrex, I think, is going to be a powerhouse in the near future. They are doing a lot of things correctly. They have purchased companies that have they already have ATSs, so that the SEC is cool with it. Automatic or alternative trading systems. That's like Forex exchanges, all those things. So Bittrex has a lot of positive things going for it. Landcoin, not really looking. Iota. Looks sloppy and messy. Don't want to touch it. All right, I want to take a quick look at our Astro charts and all that other jazz. I can get rid of these. Don't need them. Whatever. So this, as we were talking back last week and a little bit before that, we were talking about the Astro cycles that are general. These are what the behavior of past price action and past behavior is, that these are all very bullish signals, and the theory is that the more you have of them on top of one another, it kind of exacerbates the drive higher, or makes the sentiment better. So if I can get the words out correctly. So that's what this is right here. These are all looking pretty nice. And if we go back, on it's doing pretty well. So far, so good. A little top heavy on here, but you know what? Market looks pretty healthy so far. It is the weekend though, and it's gonna be a long weekend. Be wary of a lot of these positions. They protect them. They could very easily get weak, and you could experience a lot of selling pressure. I mean, don't let a little bit of a drive higher, fool you into thinking that it couldn't go down lower. Just be, trade smart. All right. Anyways, that's pretty much what I've got, folks. I mean, we're going into the weekend, and I always tell folks in the Forex Lens channel in the morning that the weekends you should, at least give yourself Saturday, because Saturday is the only day that the Forex market isn't open. But, you got to peel yourself away from the markets a little bit, and, at least for a day, and give it a rest so you can come back fresh. Don't try to make up losses over the weekends. You'll just give yourself a bad weekend. And, this is the last free live session, because we're going to a paid model, and that's starting after today. And so I hope to see some of you there. We're going to be here Monday through Friday, and we'll have a Telegram set up too for trade ideas. I'll be popping those out as they show up throughout the day, and it'll be available for questions if there's questions too. So, I've really enjoyed my time here with all of you. Met a lot of nice people here. A lot of people watch the recordings and like them too. So that's great. I hope you guys, if you do subscribe for the paid version, I hope you'll find value in it. And please, let us know what we can do to. If you're not finding it worth it, let me know. Because we need to know what we can do to provide the best service. So, anyways, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Have a safe Labor Day weekend. And for those of you who are converting into paid people, I will see you on Monday. For the Forex Lens folks, I will see you on Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.